Howdy everyone, Nimby here. Today we're going to be tying blood-sucking leech. The original pattern, it's an older pattern. It was originally just called bloodsucker. Hey Muddy Waters. Good to have you in, mate. Just going to be using some black 6/0 uni thread. Good old classic standard. And I'm tying this on a 6 4x long streamer hook. Hey, traditionally for the tail, it calls for scarlet yarn, like a tuft of yarn, with some hackle fibers. So that's the closest I got to scarlet. I think that's a good red. You don't necessarily want a bright red, but you can definitely use it. This is a more modern choice. Would be like a, this is a, I think it's called Toro, like a bull, bright bull red. Hey, thanks mate, I appreciate that. Haven't seen you in the last couple, appreciate you coming back in. That reminds me, I got a box for you and Glacier Shark and Stardusted going out this week of flies for you guys being my members for the month. And since the post office service is actually working again, it's still going to be slow. It might take a whole month to get to you, but it's coming. They're working on rotating strikes still, but at least things are moving. Hey, Victoria, good to have you in too. Just enjoying, oh, one second. I forgot the most important part of my fly tying morning. Oh, that's too bad, mate. Well, I'm gonna be trying to be here every morning. I'm gonna try and do morning streams earlier than this, probably a couple hours, probably like 4 in the morning my time to 6 kind of thing, so I can get them a little more consistent. As I was saying, I forgot my most important part. Yeah, actually, I think that's the only thing I haven't really used to tie. That's the only thing I haven't used to tie flies would be a shoelace. I just thought it was funny and threw it in there. I forgot the most important part of my fly tying morning, and that's my tea. I left it on the counter, so I will be right back. Hey, Valhal's in the house. Good to have you, mate. Hope your channel endeavors are doing well. Sorry, guys, getting all sidetracked with all the hellos, but I'm glad to have them. Yeah, hopefully your YouTube endeavors are going well there, Valhalla. I haven't popped into your place there in a week or two. So we're just tying in some scarlet yarn. This is, I think this might be acrylic. No, that's poly. It's poly yarn. Sorry. Oh, cool. I was just gonna say I've never heard of Berhurt before. I used to actually do reenactment stuff, and I used to make reenactment armor. Mostly leather work though, and chainmail. That was my jam for a good while. Did wax leather and hardened leather and more intricate stuff like bracers and all the fun fancy things. And I love chainmail. I was really into chainmail for like traditional chainmail for a long while. Made several full suits that took hundreds and hundreds of hours of like riveted chainmail, not just the linked mail. Problem is, it takes like there's just so much construction and time involved that it's almost impossible to make any sort of living on that. You'd be paying yourself a couple bucks an hour. Best thing to do is to find someone that has, for lack of a better way to say it, an issue with their setup. I found that it was better, especially if you're learning and if you want to make a little profit off of it, make small things like dice bags or stuff that you can sell at little fairs and gatherings like that everyone will be interested in. Or small things like bracers or necklaces or like you could definitely, with your setup, you could craft some pretty cool pendants like with forge and cold steel chisel and that kind of thing. Sorry guys, I'm just looking for my brush. Oh, there we go. Yeah, coin purses, like, you try to keep it on theme, right? But hey, so we got our polytail brushed out. You want to use poly for this. I do like using more natural materials like wool generally, but yeah, for sure. And that way you can pound off like, a handful of those in a day and you can sell them for 20 bucks a piece. Yeah, they do, but I mean, they make a lot of things for 15 bucks, right? It doesn't stop us from, tying flies or doing whatever we do. If you love what you do and you find people that are, interested in it, you can find a market, right? Again, that's just if you're looking to make a little bit of profit off it. I don't think you're ever going to get famous or rich off doing that kind of thing. There's a guy, if you want to get into it, he's Canadian. But he does ship statewide. It's the Ring Lord, of course, a play off Lord of the Rings. I haven't bought anything off him in the last probably 5 years or so, but take care. Okay, hopefully the eye wash issues aren't a bad thing. Good luck. Eye wash, that sounds like nasty. You got something in your eye, not cool. Good luck though. See you later, Robert. Yeah, something like that. A lot of people I know that get into that craft, they typically will do something like, say, coat hangers, bookends, you know, that kind of thing. Really cool, ornate hinges and door pulls and stuff where you can make 20 or 30 of them and someone will actually buy multiple. So we're just using, sorry, this one is kind of a spay hackle, just a little bit I got left I'm using up here, but that is coming from a salmon red hen. Oop, there we go. Salmon fly hen neck. It's a cock on the rock, dyed red. But you can use hen, you can use really whatever you got that's red. It's just to add a little rigidity to the tail for more than anything, really. I'm just going to catch that in with probably about 3 wraps. But yeah, if you ever wanted to get into chain making supplies, like I said, I have not been involved with the dude for a good 5 years or so because I just got out of that hobby. But theringlord.com, he started off just selling stuff out of his garage, and he turned into a huge, well, for ring mail anyway, business, and he makes scale, like punch scales for scale mail, like anything you can think of, anodizing. He's got like a whole shop built around it, and he's got lots of really good information. Oh, all the time. Yeah, I actually just did some fly I did yesterday was peacock sword, which is here. They're beautiful. The Black Lindsay uses it for the top. And I got lots of tail feathers all taken apart. Here, I'll pull one out for you. Here, this bunch is pretty impressive. Let's see if I get back enough so you can see it. You can see that's a nice thick, there's probably a couple thousand peacock fronds in there. I got many. Peacock is, next to pheasant, is one of my favorite tying materials, so I got more of it than I'll probably use in a lifetime. They can be, if you know where to get them, they're not too bad. They do have a cost associated though, of course. The swords are more expensive than the others for sure, because there's just less of them. They're harder to collect. The bird doesn't drop them as often either, so, and a lot of peacock feathers aren't, they're live harvested, so they just pick them up as they drop every year, because the male peacock will shed all his tail feathers every year. Alright, so I'm just pulling out a couple for the next couple flies, but these are the ones we're going to use for the next bunch. Yeah, this is like, I tie a lot of different intricate, cool, fancy looking leech patterns. This is not one of them. This is your bog standard, I want to catch a fish, old leech pattern that was really popular in the, it started around the 30s, so 30s to 40s it was really popular before like mohair and chenille and all that really came out. Yeah, so on either side, on either side I'm just putting like a little tuft of this red, well, it's rooster, I guess. Cock on the rock. It's a type of rooster. It has a nice, different quality to it than the other chickens, in that it's got a soft yet firm setup to it where it's flexible and it'll move well, but it also has like the rigidity of like a hackle feather. But you can use any feather you got. Like even if you just got a white feather, just get a red Sharpie and just mark it up and then tie it in. Because this is just a quick and dirty leech pattern. It's really, the red is just there as a little attractor. And some people make these red tails and beards minutely small, like just a little puff out the back. I like mine to be a bit larger, especially if I'm fishing, if I'm trolling them, because I get beat up. I do like to slowly troll these in my canoe. You can also strip them in inch by inch, because the leeches kind of swim like. Okay, so tail's tied in, just so everyone can see that. You got your feathers on either side, kind of surrounding the blob of yarn. And again, that just keeps it a little more streamlined, stops it from getting as beat up, and just gives it a better lively look, pulsing look in the water. I think the original assumption was to show like blood from the leech having just fed, because then he's a nice fat slow moving target, but I don't think that they actually leak any blood out after they let go. But who knows? I haven't talked to a leech in a while. I have never recognized that in this song. That totally sounded like a bong. We'll assume she was blowing bubbles in some milk. Okay, so just black, medium chenille. I'm going to be using this, this one's not carded. So it's just no-name fuzzy chenille. I also have some Netcraft medium black, which is a lot softer. This would be like more your modern chenille. But you could use wool, you could use really anything. Yeah, that's kind of why I said something. I was just like, where's that coming from? I swear I've played that song like dozens of times and I've never noticed that before. And it's on YouTube's, free audio. Pretty much all the audio I use is YouTube's free audio. So I don't have to even worry or think about copyright junk. Okay, so actually before I tie in the body here, we're gonna go with, I'm gonna use some of this ultra, I'm probably gonna end up using copper for most of them, but just for kicks and giggles and fun, I'm gonna use this red ultra wire. What is this, in a brassy? No, it's small. Yeah, I don't even bother messing with it because it's not worth it. I got some songs that like were posted as copyright free, and I really enjoy like people's own mixed music. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like you have to really dig through the library to find some decent tunes, but yeah, we're gonna tie this in all the way along the body length, and I'm just using the red as a little bit of a indicator. Oh. This is kind of interesting stuff. It feels like the old vintage pipe cleaners. Like, I don't know if you can tell on the stream there. It's very stiff. Like the original pipe cleaners used to be made out of Oh, you have to get it's kind of weird to get to be honest with you. You have to go in through like the YouTube Studio. So you can do it through like the YouTube Studio app, or you can just use the website. But if you go down to Audio Library, and then there's a section in there, and you can, what I do is I'll favorite them with like little hearts or stars. I can't remember what icon it is, but you favorite them. And then when you get the ones that you like all favored, you go back and there's a download option. You can just download the MP3, and then I'll put it into a music player from that, like make an MP3 library, and then I can play it. Actually, I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure they're MP3. For some reason, my brain was saying WAV files for a second there, but I think they're just MP3s. Doesn't really matter though. Whatever. Any player will play them. But you can play them right from there too. You can stream them down. It's just I prefer to have them on a player. It gives you more control, and it also reduces your bandwidth, right? You don't want to be downloading stuff while you're trying to upstream at the same time. Unless you have a really good connection, then I guess it don't matter. Alright, so we got our chenille tied in. Kind of liking this. This stuff, weird stuff. I don't think I've ever used this before. Let me, here, 1 second. I'll pop in there. See if I can do this while I'm streaming without messing stuff up. Let me know if I drop. Just give me a sec. Okay, so yeah, if you got your main YouTube up in the top you got your hamburger. 3 lines that you click on in the top left. And then if you go down, not music, not live, like in the explore section, but if you go below, why am I not seeing it? Okay, sorry, yeah, I'm in the wrong spot. So not regular YouTube, you have to go into Studio. And then once you're in YouTube Studio, why am I not seeing it? Is it the bar from there? Sorry, mate, 1 second. I go in here all the time now, I can't find the thing. It is kind of weirdly hidden though, 1 second. I don't think it's not in YouTube Music, is it? No. Did they move it? What? Weird, okay. Okay, 1 second, let's start at the top here and figure this out. Premium. Dude, I don't see it anymore. I wonder if they changed something with that last push out they did. Watch live sports. Ah, okay, I found it. Sorry, they did move it. It's in a different spot now. So if you go into Studio, it might be in a different spot on mobile if you're on mobile, but if you're on PC, you do the hamburger up in the top left. And it's at the very bottom under Audio Library, and then you can search that and everything in here. Some of them have a little bit weird options in it where you need to give the guy props if you use it or whatever, but for the most part you can use everything in here without any copyright issues at all. So it's all safe, it's all good. There's gobs in there, so hit that up, check that out. That should give you a hand. Yeah, weird, they totally moved it somewhere else. Oh, it's all good, mate. I don't mind giving you a hand if I got a minute. We're just relaxing and tying up some leeches. It's all good. Honestly thought it would have been a quick 10-second help out, but they moved it. Yeah, it's kind of hidden in the menu at the bottom. It just says Audio Library. And until you start kind of favoriting things, it's just going to give you like a large list. Kind of like when you're making a short and it gives you the audio options for adding, a song that's current or whatever. But these ones are YouTube specific audio library for, adding to your videos. Yeah, I'm doing this right. I'm second guessing myself there. Sorry. Not Valhalla's problem, my brain's problem. I just got out of sync there. Hey J-Fish, how's it going, mate? Just doing up some old school classic bloodsuckers. A really old leech pattern. With some really old chenille. This stuff feels like Christmas decorations or something. I didn't have any label on the cards. I'm assuming this is probably like 70s chenille. But that's not really important for the pattern. Yeah. No, I mean, I wish the editors that they had provided were better than they are. There's nothing really wrong with them, but like considering how many better options there are out there, right? Like DaVinci, I didn't like CapCut so much until the last few updates. I've been using that for my shorts and stuff because it's just so much more convenient than DaVinci. Okay, so for this one, it calls for a brown saddle hackles. And we're actually going to trim this down after, which just kills part of my heart, but it's okay. It is what it is. That is the original pattern, is to trim it down after. I'm just not a big personal fan of that style. This is a pretty thing, so check this out. I wonder if I can get this in frame enough and still have it somewhat focused. Okay, so you can see this is the bottom half. Yeah, I mean, CapCut's, it's great in that it's convenient and it's super easy. And like if you're just making simple edits like for quick shorts or whatever, it takes me half the time as it does in DaVinci. I can do the same stuff in DaVinci, it's just more convenient. Sorry, so back to this deal. You won't see this terribly often unless you actually do your own bird tanning. So the bottom of this, I can't get the whole thing in frame, but I'm going to flip it around for you. This is the saddle. So this goes on the butt or the back of the chicken. And it's connected to the, and this is your cape at the top. But the gentleman who tanned this a long time ago, because this thing is old, left the two connected. So a lot of people are confused the difference between a saddle and a cape. So this is your saddle down here, and this is your cape up here. So this part here would connect around the rooster's neck like that. So this is the full chicken skin. So you don't see that too often. I like this one. In any event, we're not going to need a really nice hackle, so I don't need to use this stuff, but for the first couple I tie, I'm going to use them because they're a good length. And it's calling for saddle hackle, and that's the first brown saddle I pulled out of the thing, so that's what we're going with for now. So again, nothing special, just your regular old brown rooster saddle, and this is really just to add movement in the water and to give the fish a resemblance of motion. It is not resembling legs or anything, although I guess it could mistake it for like a large nymph or other bug. We're going to trim off a good bit of this. I like to tie mine in with the thicker part up front, going thinner to the back of the fly. And again, since we're trimming this off, it doesn't matter. You could use, I'm going to try this guy on the next one, and he's huge, and then it really shouldn't matter because you're just trimming it off. And we're going to catch this in with the wire at the back and counter wrap it. I'm just tying it in on my side here. I didn't know you couldn't use it on mobile. That's weird. Well, I don't use it on mobile per se because I download them on the PC and then I just have them as a playlist, right? And I can just move them around because they're just MP3s. So like it's just a file folder that I drag over to my phone. Once you have them, right? You can use them. So yeah, I'd suggest that. Just favorite the ones you like, because then they're hard to come back and find later, because it's just such a large library. So I'd highly recommend that you use the favorite option, because I had trouble. There's just so many songs that are very similar that are slightly different than one another, or different variations, or one has a drum beat or one has a little bit of vocals and the other one doesn't. So a lot easier to use the favorite option. Find the ones you like, save them onto your computer in a file folder, and then drag that over to your phone, and you got all the audio you need. And you can search it by genre, you can change it by mood, which I really like. That way I can get some nice chill tunes going for everyone. You do have to still vet them. It's not anywhere close to 100% accurate with its search options, but it's close enough, you know. Yeah, some even have bong rips just out of nowhere. That was kind of weird. I wasn't expecting that at all. I swear I've played that song too like dozens of times and never heard that before. Alright, so we're just going to be palmering this back, and palmering really just means you know, going around from front to back or back to front. It's a fancy fly tying term, probably made up by some guy named Palmer. I'm not familiar with any other origin of the term. If anyone knows, let me know, because I don't think it matters anyway. It's really just a common term thrown around. But yep, this will be palmering. So we're just bringing it from the front to the back in a spiral. Now, if this was going to be like a woolly bugger, I'm surprised actually I need a feather as long as I got here. Almost don't have enough room to tie her off. Hey, Pilgrim's in there and he's answering my questions for me. Thanks, man. Blat, my tongue is not working. Yeah, and then palmer the wire back, you got her. And that'll cross ribbit. It adds, you don't have to do it this way, but I mean, it adds a lot more durability to it. And these get hit really hard, so If you can do that, all the better. I got my wire here, and I'm just going to be crossing it and pinning it down. I'm going to leave that hackle plier in place for now. Yeah, good to have you in, Brewer. Good to have you in, Vilgrams. You've been putting in the work, man. Your streams have been taking off like no one's business. And yeah, this red wire I'm using is not traditional whatsoever. Try not to trap so many fibers here, but for whatever reason it's not gonna matter because we're cutting these all up anyway. For whatever reason on this one, it seems to be grabbing more fibers than normal. That's good. All good. Yeah, Vilgrams, I've been super impressed. You've been taking your channel to like a whole nother level, mate. Been really enjoying it. And you're having fun doing it too, which makes the whole thing all the better, right? You can tell you're just thoroughly enjoying yourself, and that makes it fun to watch. And just gonna helicopter out that wire. Yeah, traditionally they would have probably not palm loaded up like that. Yeah, Vilgrams is awesome. Yeah, he puts in the work, mate. And that's 90% of it. Just gonna cut the tail end off here. There we go. Now we're at the part that just kills me, but before we do that, I'm gonna tie in the stream elements. I gotta actually stop being lazy and set you up properly. So traditionally they wouldn't do this next part, but I am going to just because I like it. And we're just gonna tie in a, and for this I like to use the little kind of more marabou-y bottom strands here. And we're just gonna tie in a little shuck of red beard in the bottom. Again, not the traditional pattern. Traditional pattern wouldn't have the red. Hey Yoshi, good to have you, mate. I almost dug out all my deer hair stuff to do up some bass flies for you, but they'll be coming when I get a little more. Get a little more free time here. Okay, so just a little shuck. Nothing crazy. I like to put it there as a little beard. Just gonna get twist out of my thread here. And I'm also gonna move my thread up here. It's a little bit low. Yeah, always good to have Yoshi in. Got most of the crew in this morning. It was a little quiet last night, but I think I had some setup problems. Yeah, basically like a throat gill. Yeah, just like you don't need a lot really. It's just a little whiff on the chin, you know. And you do your best not to cut it off while you're trimming. I don't know why I always tie these in before I trim, because then I end up cutting it off by accident, but that's where we're at, so we'll just make do. I think everyone was worn out from Halloween weekend and everything. Oh, it's gonna look a lot more buggy, just hold tight. I like to have like a big bulbous head on these. I know I'm making it like huge, but for whatever reason, I don't know why. It just seems to work better. You can make little tiny heads on them. Yeah, we're getting cold now, but we haven't gotten, you know, knock on wood, snow yet, or anything to speak of snow yet. We've got a few white dustings in the yard, but they're always gone by noon. But we're getting cold. How do you self-destruct it? Use gas forge or charcoal, coal? I'm assuming gas. Actually, let's do some whip finishes on that before we cut her off. Oh, I know I'm not ready for the snow yet. I still got a lot of wood to cut. It's all here in the yard and in the woodshed. I just gotta cut it and sort it, and I've been putting it off longer than I should have. Propane, okay. So would you just not shut the gas off or something? Thankfully, you can make a forge out of almost anything if you got some fireboard and concrete and steel something. Like an old propane bottle. Yeah, exactly. I kind of like the bigger head. Like I said, it's not really technically a streamer, but for whatever reason, it just seems to. I think it also helps too, because I tie another one. Oh. Okay. And it just kind of disintegrated. I get, yeah, there's only so much heat they can take, even the professional ones. Okay, so the part that just hurts my soul is to cut this beautiful hackle. That is what it calls for. Holy cow, man, you're lucky you didn't have a fire. That would be my biggest worry. They used to have a couple small forges, and that kind of stuff can run away on you pretty quick. before you know it, like your ventilation's catching fire and everything's burning up. And the temperatures are so hot that like a regular, fire extinguisher is only going to do so much once everything gets to those ridiculous temps. Well, I'm glad you didn't lose anything besides the forge, though. Here's a good tip for you. If you need to get all the chunk off like that, just boink. I'll get rid of most of it for you. Yeah, I had one where I can't remember what I was forging. I think it was a hilt for a knife I was making. And I had a box of just like scrap leather and stuff for making sheaths. And it was a good distance behind me, like a good 15-20 feet or so. But I don't know if it was a spark when I was hitting or if it was just some slag that broke off, but a little chunk flew in there and lit the bin of leather on fire, which I honestly didn't think would ever catch fire, but there must have been something in there that had a glaze on it, or it was just random leather scraps. Yeah. Well, thankfully propane's not like super explosive, like not like hydrogen. Yeah, that's what actually got my nose. I could smell it long before I noticed it was actually burning. But it caught on fire, and by the time I noticed it was on fire, it was already making a mess of the rest of my shop. And then, like the roof was like covered in this black sooty grease tar, just like if you burnt a large pork loin or something. And it stunk for a good 3 days. But it ended up catching another thing on fire and another thing, and it was like, oh my gosh. So yeah, I feel you. I've been there. Not only did I mess up the hilt, but I lost all that leather scrap, which I was upset about. Yeah, well, gas is a different story. That's way more flammable with well, Stream Elements is putting in the work today. Yeah, thankfully I don't see too many people smoking at gas stations anymore. I mean, they got all the signs up and everything. Yeah, so like, it just hurts my heart to trim up beautiful hackle like this, but that is the pattern, so we're going with it. Least I can do is try and do a half decent trim job, I suppose, but the traditional fly would just be messy as all get out. And this is just providing, again, movement, because they do a lot of movement when they're swimming in the water. And the leeches we have up here are actually more brown than black, and they're kind of like a gray brown color. And especially underneath, they're almost two-tone. So the underneath, when they're swimming, yeah, it turned out good. I'm happy with it. Yeah, it did. Yeah, it's an old pattern. In my opinion, well, it's got its own beauty to it, but it's not a fancy There's lots of really cool, fancy leech patterns. This is not one of them. Yeah, the traditional pattern wouldn't have the red wire in there, but I just find my leeches always hit off better with that red wire. Traditionally, it would have just been a wrapped hackle from the back forward and tied off, but again, palmering it with a wire like that just adds a lot more durability, because the fish just nail these things when they hit them. And that little red beard makes a big difference. Well, that's cool. That worked out well. Yeah, so I'm going to be trying to do pretty much daily morning streams now. I prefer to stream and tie in the nighttime, especially late, but it's been getting hard to not fall asleep. So I'm going to try and wake up early and get my tying done in the mornings. And I'll probably still tie at night too, but... Yeah, I'd say like late summer, fall here anyway. I also like to give them a nice shiny head. Late summer here, they get a very olive, almost yellowy brown kind of color texture to them. And then in the winter, like from now till ice off, they're black. They get very dark in the winter, and I'm not sure if it's a feeding thing or a life cycle change or to do with what's in the water. Oop, that was sharp. Okay, so just like always, we're going to rotate this for a minute until that dries up so we don't get a lopsided head. And that is the traditional bloodsucker leech from about, I want to say probably 1928. It's probably kind of the time frame there. And again, the traditional pattern would have no beard on it and no red wire, just with the palmered up body. But as unfortunate as they look, they work a treat. I've lost track of how many leeches I've had on me. I don't much like waders, so I'll just go into the water with, like Vilgrams, with some sandals on or something. Now, most people use waders around here, though. We don't have a lot of parasites besides leeches to worry about. We can get some good sized leeches up here too. Most of them are fairly small, like, you know, pinky finger size, but I've definitely found some that are like length of my hand where it's like, what, buddy? Cool. Okay, let's get a few more done. I got these silver ones too, which are just a hair, like one head length longer, so 1x longer than the black hooks, but I'm gonna do up the black ones first. Where did I take you from? Okay, well, you're gonna go there because it's the only spot you'll fit. Good enough. I'm not really using the rotary anyway. But I figured, like, I don't think it really matters, but I always like to use a black or darker hook with the leech patterns, or even like a dark bronze. But I've definitely caught them on silvers and bright hooks too. Doesn't really seem to make a difference, but just personal preference. Same with like a dark nymph or stonefly or something. They just look better on a dark hook. So I just got a thread body on there. And I can try and go a little quicker with this one. So I kind of went over all the steps already. So again, just 2-strand poly yarn. You don't want to use a, you could use acrylic, but you wouldn't want to use a wool because you want the strands to be long-stranded and not spun. Otherwise your tail will just come apart after a while. And I'm going to do about 1/4 of the hook length, so like that. So nothing crazy, just want a little shuck out there. And we want to have that on top of the hook. I'm going to tie that in right back to the barb. So our line's in line with the barb, and we can cut her off. And I'm going to brush it out actually before I tie in the feathers here. There's my brush. And I'm just using a poly brush here, but I mean you can use whatever you got handy. It's really just to get the fibers poofed out. You can even just use your fingers if you want to, really. Okay, and I got some fibers down here that are a little on the soft side, so I'm actually going to pull those and some adjacent ones. Off, and we'll save those for our beard. Really? I didn't think Instagram would care. The algorithm stuff's so weird that way. I mean, I have an Instagram. I really should double post things. I just don't. I do YouTube, and YouTube's what I do. But I know it's really not much effort to, post on other platforms. But this be my platform. This is where I hang out. But yeah, I do have some random stuff on Instagram. And there's lots of good fly tires and patterns there. I don't want to say I was shadow banned, but I was definitely something. Whatever it wasn't fun. I went from, 3,000 to 6,000 views per stream to like 10 for like 2 weeks. Yeah, and I couldn't, no matter what I did, I couldn't get my views past, like it just wasn't, I had 0 impressions, like it just was not pushing my content out at all, like 0. That's where I just kind of rebranded the channel, came up with a new logo, renamed a bunch of stuff, and whatever reason that fixed it, and all of a sudden I was back. Yeah, that's freaking awesome, buddy. Excuse me. 100's like the first big milestone, and honestly, it's probably harder to get your first 100 than any of the other milestones, to be honest with you. The first 100's like a lot of work. Especially lately, it feels like yeah, no, it's one of those. rules for thee, but not for me, right? Come on. Sorry, I just got one fiber that's upsetting me here. I don't even know what I have on Instagram, to be honest. I don't pay attention to it. Yeah, I mean, the only reason I would see as a legitimate reason to jump to a different platform. Yeah, I don't really, like I said, I don't have any much experience with IG other than just posting stuff for fun on there. I've never tried to grow whatsoever. I think I have couple hundred followers anyway, but I mean, my account's pretty old. But in any event, yeah, for sure, Yosh. Sorry, I had to fight with that tail a little bit, but I like it. It's in there now. So what you want to do is get that red hackle to kind of sit around either side of it. It doesn't have to necessarily be on the top. You just kind of want it to cup the tail, and that'll help it to pulsate. Yeah, I mean, there's really not much you can do if your account gets hacked. Well, I mean, you got two choices there, Valhalla. You can either find a platform that fits you or stick with the one that's fighting you. Like, to be honest, there's really only two choices. Because you can't change what they're going to do, that's for sure. Okay, I think I got enough. Hey, yeah, we'll probably be pretty dang close, but I think I got enough here. If I need to, I can tie in a little cheater piece. Let's hope we don't have to go that far. Oh, hold tight. Wire first, wire first. Abort, abort. I'm gonna stick with the red wire. We'll do some with some copper and some silver. I don't post on Reddit. I don't think there is any platform that's ideal. YouTube does seem to be changing though. Yeah, the YouTube does seem to have been, well, with all their new updates, the recent ones. Oh, come on, tie in there. With all their recent updates, a lot of them I like, but they definitely seem to be pushing towards being more advertiser friendly, which doesn't affect me at all. I don't think anything I do is, not on the not advertiser friendly side of things. But you never know when those rules will come bite you in the butt. Yeah, I think my account's like, I should be coming up on 8 years pretty soon here. I think yeah, I think it's sometime in November anyway. Find the algorithm stuff fascinating and terrifying at the same time. Yeah, I mean, I can understand. I can understand why they do that because they have to put everything into baskets, right? And you could have everything from a kitchen knife to a butterfly knife or something, right? There's a big range there. Come on, buddy. There we go. Just trying to catch the tag end a little bit. Yeah, like the one time that it hit me was, like I said, I have no idea what happened. I was going like 3,000, 6,000 streams with the live streams every time, and like, I'm not looking for big numbers or anything. I'm just happy to hang out with you guys. But like I do, and it lasted for like almost a month. It was like over almost 3 weeks. And I'd put a video out or live, and I'd just sit here and like by myself, and I'd get like 12 views, and it would be like, what's going on? And out of those 12 views, like 4 of them were me because I'd log in with my other accounts to see if it was working. But yeah, it pushed me out to 0 people for weeks. And I know, and like I used to be a federal officer actually, and I used to deal with all those laws. And honestly, they were just made up in a courtroom or back office somewhere, and most of the laws don't have any logical reasoning to them. So we're gonna dig into this. We're gonna dig into this here. Yeah, I don't think I did anything to warrant it blocking me at all. Yeah, that just came back. But yeah, I changed my logo, I changed all my text and everything on my channel as much as I could. And then just poof, it just came back. That's cool. Yeah, it'll do that. It'll just take off. I've had a few streams like that where it's just like, holy man. And then nothing again the next day or whatever. Yeah, like I said, I'm here to just hang out with you guys and enjoy myself and tie and learn and help people. I've been doing this for, like I said, 7, 8 years now. And this is the very first. I just recently got monetized. So I'm definitely not here for the monies. But the monies helps buy more materials. Exactly. Yeah, you gotta trudge on through. So, I grabbed a slightly longer one this time because the last one was almost not long enough, which kind of surprised me. I thought I'd be oversized. But same thing, we're gonna tie that in. Oh, that's okay. Uh, it always messes me up when people change their logos, like when who did it recently? Oh, I didn't. I heard about. I don't think we have that in Canada yet. Um, the little whatever their currency is. I don't know if it has a name or not. Probably gems or something. I I read the thing on it, but since it's not available here yet, I didn't pay much attention to it. Yeah, exactly. Basically, I'm using all. If I make any money, I'm using it all for mail outs and stuff for people. Like I got 3 boxes here that I'm gonna mail out this week. One's going to Robert, one's going to Glacier Shark, and one's going to Stardusted as a nice payback for the donations that they sent this month. To be honest, my all my stuff I just do on my cell phone because it's convenient. Yeah, I mean, hit up thrift stores, man. Like I got some amazing tripods and mics and stuff, and they've all come from thrift stores. Especially tripods. I mean, you can pick up tripods every day of the week for, 10, 15 bucks for like good quality tripods. Most of the time they're just a little busted and you just need to fix them. He's such a cool guy. I like him. But yeah, I just thought it'd be a nice way to give back to people that decided to donate this month. Due to the YouTube um, whatever agreement stuff, I can't have it as um, a benefit for being a member or what have you, but I can definitely do it on my own. Yeah, most camera mics are. Alright, let's see if we can do this again here. I'm gonna try my rotary hackle pliers this time, not that it really matters, but I'm gonna give them a go. And again, since we're trimming this, come on, buddy. Alright, wants to be a toot. Alright, well, doesn't matter too much, just like I was just finished saying. Really? Dude, I didn't even pull hard. Alright, let's get a new one. I'll save that for a little nymph or something. Yeah, Glacier puts the work in, mate. Hey, Stardusted. Hey, there you go, Vilgrims. You got a free membership from Dusted. That's cool. Hey, Dusted, since you dropped in, I just was talking about you. I got a box of flies that's coming your way this week. I'll hit you up by email. I think I got your email, but I'll need your mailing address to send them to you. Actually, if you got time, I can't do it while I'm streaming, but if you got time, if you could shoot me your mailing address to email on my site here, just flytyingwithnimby@gmail.com, and I'll get that off to you this week. I got Glacier and Robert's mailing addresses. Hey, Yoshi! Thanks, mate. Hey, you've got a cool little fox dude on it. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Both of you, they really do, honestly. Okay, cool. I thought it was something like that because I know I've seen your tag floating around, but I will touch base with you probably later tonight. Now it's gonna take a while to get to you though, because the mail Canada Post is still on rotating strikes, and the last thing I sent took almost a month, so it's gonna be a minute, but it's coming. It's Yoshi. Thanks for subbing. Or resubbing, I'm not sure if that's a second account for you. Oh no! Hey guys, can you still hear me? It looks like the stream. I can still hear you guys in chat, but my YouTube side of the stream just completely fell on its face, so see if I can reload it here. Whew, okay, we're back. I think we're back. Everyone's still there? Okay, cool. Yeah, wow, I haven't had that happen before. Awesome, okay. Yeah, the YouTube studio just completely crashed. Aww. Mine's sleeping, thankfully. He got like a hair up his butt. He was so hyper yesterday. Yeah, so we're just gonna palmer this back. Am I palmering this too close? I am. Okay, let's step back. I'm gonna spread that out a bit, we're not gonna have enough room. There's only one Yoshi, come on now. Anything else is just an imitation. Yeah, we're just gonna spread this palmer out a little bit more so I can make it all the way to the back. We're gonna be trimming her down as my heart bleeds. I understand the reasoning behind it, but God, it just hurts me when I have to trim hackle. Let's let you hang right there, that'll do. Okay, Dusted. Hopefully I'll be here when you get back. I gotta feed my birds and squirrels and everything too, to be honest with you. Poor girls. Here, I'm just gonna use the hackle pliers in case I drop something, but we're gonna palmer this up. This time it's not catching as many fibers. I know it's kind of random with the YouTube music stuff, but I found quite a few that I really enjoy. A lot of them remind me a lot of the 80s, 90s kind of video game synth stuff. As much as I would love to use copyright music, it's just not, I'm not gonna bother. It's not happening. I do not want to deal with the hassle. And I enjoy this stuff. I think I got like, I don't know, 580 songs in the playlist, so more than enough. Yeah, just gonna helicopter that off. I was gonna cut it with the wire snips, but we'll just give it a little pokey poke. There we go. Okay, and we'll free off that hackle now. Yeah, probably dating myself a bit, but who cares? I love my old school 90s, 80s stuff. Not gonna be ashamed of it. Let's get a nicer head on that thing, because it's flat and yucky. I'm just gonna build up a nice little lump, clean it up a bit. Ugh, there's always one hackle fiber that just wants to jump in there on you, isn't there? Every time. There's always one little bugger. Cool. Okay, that worked out well. Not quite streamer quality head, but it'll do. Hey, Jay Fisher's back. Me too, mate. Me too. Of course, I'm partial, but I think it was an awesome time to grow up. Still had video games and internet, but had all the outdoor stuff at the same time. Alright, so I'm not doing the beard on this one, mostly because I forgot, but this would be the traditional, I guess I could still tie one in, but this is the traditional pattern anyway, without the red wire. They would have just palmered it from the back to the front. Okay, just gonna move my waste bag here and see if I can catch some of this. Probably gonna miss all of it, but that's okay. We'll get it hacking away. Trimmy, trim, trim. I think so, but of course I'm partial. I didn't grow up any other time. Yeah, it's very much like a woolly bugger, just not. But like someone else said, it reminds me a lot of those black and orange caterpillars you get that come just freaking everywhere. That's true. Kind of glad I didn't grow up like through the earlier 80s just because wasn't really a lot going on, I guess. You know, like late 70s, 80s. Yeah, I'm glad it wasn't like a late teenager starting my life off in the early 80s because in Canada we had that huge crash and everything really sucked. A lot of people lost their homes. That would have sucked having to work through that. I guess the 2008 stuff and everything else that's been going on hasn't really been any different, really. I'm seeing some hackle fibers down here. I'm just trying to get them. Yeah, that's true. Like, we get, like, I mean, it's hard to say because you never know what the future or the past would have held for you, but I think our generations, yeah, every generation had their cool spots, but I mean, I think ours had, like, the most exposure to all the different random stuff, right? Like, there you go. Space Forge. That'd be cool. You'd probably have to run it off of like nuclear or something because you wouldn't have any oxygen. Well, I think that's probably even enough. It's gonna take a little bit off of the chin here. Yeah, if you just take it and just flick it like that, you'll get most of your fluff off. It's a quick way to do it. Yeah, overall, I'm happy with that guy. Uh, that's true, you could forge all day there. Wonder if you I wonder if you could just like dig up dirt there and just smelt it into ingots. If it was like, I don't know what the percentage is, but that'd be pretty cool. I'm seeing like one or two. I can see it in the camera, but I can't see it in. Have fun, mate. Yeah, I like how you take out your. Yeah, I like how you take your little dudes out. That's awesome. Enjoy. Oh, thanks for dropping in. It was always a pleasure to have you in, man. If you're doing a stream there, I'll try and catch up to you. Okay, let's get some head cement on that guy. He's probably good enough. I've been picking away at him for a bit. It's like supposed to be the most like quick, ugly pattern, but I get so picky with it. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't want to like, not that it would matter, but Tying these with like an 8/0 or a smaller thread would be a bit of a pain. There, for an ugly fly, it's a pretty fly. And we'll just add a couple dabs of Sally Hansen's on there just to give her a shine. A little bit more durability. I don't think she's coming apart though. Still got open water though. I might actually get out fishing once or twice before we get that weird sloppy fall time where you don't have ice and don't have open water at the same time. And we're just gonna rotate that for a minute. Let that dry up. That one turned out good. I'm quite happy with the hackle and everything on that. Just hurts part of my soul having to cut up the hackle when you got this nice beautiful hackle on it. Turn it into a bottle brush, but that's what it is. Okay, I got another 15 seconds or so. It's still pretty drippy looking. You can tell when they're kind of ready to take off and hang up because they'll get a little bit more duller look. Yeah, I like this one better than the last one. Although I do like that, the little red beard on it. My first flies are generally never my best ones. Takes a bit to get the fly time blood pumping. But there's the previous one. I think I made him a bit shorter, so I do like it slightly longer on the hackle fronds, but traditionally I guess it would have been cut short like this guy. Always a pleasure. You're always welcome to hang out. You're an awesome dude and you're a great part of this community. I'm always great to have you in here. Yeah, let's go for number 3. That's actually a thought I just had there, Valhalla. I was thinking how you said you can't, promote knives and that kind of thing. What about like actual selling, like just changing your verbiage to cutlery and making like knife, fork, spoon sets and that kind of thing? And you can still make pretty wicked knives and, cool handles and all that stuff, but just changing like your verbiage, that might help you. I don't know if they'll still dock that or not, but there's plenty of cooking channels and people with food and forks and knives that aren't getting docked, but like you said, it seems to be one of those things where they'll nail you. But it's thought for you anyway. There's always a workaround. When I did forge my own stuff, there was a guy I used to follow. He was on YouTube back then. I'm not sure if he still is or not, but he was classically trained in knife making in Japan, and I used to really like his work. They make a lot of smaller like neck knives and that kind of thing. But he had this similar problem he was talking about even back then, and he kind of rebranded his business as can't remember his name now. It starts with a C. But he rebranded his business as whatever his name was, Cutlery. I'd think so, especially now, unfortunately. It's probably more convenient and more effective for them to use, AI image recognition. But that's the part that's like annoying, is it's like you could make a really nice knife, that's for cutting steak or something. And other than, some very finite points on it, it's not going to be any different than a knife you'd wear on your neck for, EDC carry or something, right? But they're going to flag it because you got a forge behind you. I have also heard that too. Yeah, I've heard that too. And I'd like to think it's not true, but, money runs all these things, right? But I don't know. I mean, it might be worth putting up one or two videos like that where you're just, change your setting, change your background, make it more. Doesn't have to necessarily be food related, but I think you're getting at what I'm throwing down. Make it more, not that you're trying to trick the algorithm, it's just you're trying to work with it than against it, right? Like I said, if you can't find a platform that's wants you on it, then it's going to be an uphill battle, right? Yeah, I don't know enough about that stuff being, illegitimate or not to comment on it because I'm not an Instagram follower. Like I said, I have an account there for years, but not something I've put really any effort in. Yeah, so same thing. Just using this red cock in a rock. Metal pokey objects. Yeah, like I said, he ran into the same problem, the dude I'm talking about, and it was super frustrating for him because it's his life thing, right? Like he literally spent years training in Japan to do this stuff and bring it back to the States, and he was uberly skilled too. He was really good, and same thing. He was getting lambasted with bans and stuff just because of the whole it being a knife. But he was also like legitimately making cutlery too, which is. But he ended up having to switch his whole business plan over to making cutlery just because of all the pushback with sales and stuff. But in the same token, it was kind of interesting watching him find, you know, loopholes to get through some of the red tape. Because knives are like I grew up in the school of thought that like a knife is a tool, right? Like I always have a knife on me in my pocket or in my truck or like no matter where I go, except for flying. Unfortunately, can't do that, but I'll have one when I get where I'm going. But to me, it's a tool. I think everyone should carry one. And like every house has dozens of them, so it's not like it's a controversial object. But, you know, politics get involved with everything, right? Yeah, I'm not going to get in the whole gun discussion, but knives are a different story in my opinion. Yep, and that's why I mean it's not fair when restrictions like that come into play on someone's content. And especially when the no worries, Yoshi. Be thankful you can still do yard work and it's not covered in white yet. But I mean, yeah, I mean Britain and UK is no different, right? They got some of the most strictest laws there for that kind of thing. But like, this thing's pokey, right? It's literally meant to poke into flesh. Like that's its design job. And like, you can get 1 second here. I'm gonna reach around my camera without knocking it over, hopefully. Like, come on. See if I get this in the frame. And I mean, they get big. Like, this one's huge. I can't even get the whole thing in frame. You know, there's the eye. And like, how is this any less dangerous than than a knife, right? Yeah, I'm gonna do, I don't know, we'll see, 1 or 2 more here, and then I'll have to do some adulting. I'm assuming it's for sharks. I got it in a load of fly tying equipment, actually. All good, Dusted. I keep all my stuff on there, as you know, so you're welcome to pop back in and watch it later. But, I mean, other than tying on the tail, I'm pretty much starting this one off. The only thing with the tail, I'll just go over it quick for you since you missed it. Just using a scarlet, so not quite red. So this would be a red, right? So scarlet's just a hair off that color. It's got a little more pink in it. So scarlet poly yarn. You don't want to use wool because all the fibers will come out after a while. Yeah, all good. I'm glad people can watch them later and, you know, learn or just hang out. That's the whole idea. So what do you guys think? Should I stick with the red wire or move to a copper for this one? So I gotta cut a new piece. I like the way the red looks because it just shows through a little bit, but we can go with copper. What do you guys think? You want to stick with red or go to copper? Alright, we'll do copper for this one. It's handy for me because I already got a piece cut. Yeah, the nice thing about flies like this too is you can save your cutoffs from other stuff. You only need a little piece, right? So I mean, if you're into saving materials. Yeah, sorry Stardust, I only got halfway down there. Let me get this tied in here and I'll finish that up. Alright, yeah, so for the, yeah, copper's a traditional, you know, ribbing material. So, scarlet, red poly yarn. This is a 2-strand, but it doesn't matter if you got 2 or 3 because you're going to fluff it out. So tie it in. You want to have it about 1/4 of the length. Yeah, just like hotspot. And then I like to brush them out. I just use this brush, but you can use whatever you got handy. And then for the around the tail, I'll use, this is a red, where'd my cape go? A red salmon fly hen, cock of the rock, red. It's a little different than a hen, but you can really use hen or rooster if you have whatever you have that's dyed red. If you don't have any of this dyed red, grab some whatever you got that's white, just use a red Sharpie and just color it in. Yeah, copper and gold wire, there's my standards. And copper's easy to come by because like any USB or speaker wire is going to be your, you know, your average micro wire copper. But yeah, anyway, sorry. So you're tying it in on either side, you just want a tuft, and it's really just kind of surrounding the tuft there. And most of the time if you're tying, when you're tying in your near side, as you're tying it, it'll wrap it a bit. As you know, your material likes to twist, right? So you take advantage of that, and as you're tying it in, I just tie my near side in with a little more material than I tie my far side in, and then it'll pull that over and give you a little bit on the top, like that. And that just gives it a little more lifelike movement in the water. It adds a little bit of protection for it too, because a lot of times if you're fishing this, at least around here, yeah, you should. Copper is awesome. I don't know why copper isn't worth more like silver, to be honest, other than it being more common. Yeah, I'm really surprised more people don't have, you know, copper bars and bullion and that kind of thing, because in my opinion, it's just as useful as silver. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go check out some of his new stuff he's gonna get up here. Sorry, I got sidetracked there, Dustin. Yeah, so that's pretty much the tail. Pretty simple, just your regular kind of tag end tail. The only difference is that you want to shroud it um, with the rooster. I'm using this. It's an old vintage 70s black chenille, but if you don't have that, just regular like Netcraft medium chenille will be fine. Old hammer is so cool. Yeah, I got buckets of old pennies. Same with Canada, we got rid of our penny, unfortunately. Kind of a sad thing. So a penny is 4 cents American? Is that what you're saying? Yeah, do it now. Because they got rid of the penny in Canada. Huh. Yeah, because in Canada we got rid of our penny, well, I want to say like, what, 3, 4 years ago? Maybe more now? But it didn't take long before the supply of pennies dried up, and it was hard to come by. People literally sell like bags of pennies on Facebook Marketplace up here now for crafting or collectors or whatever for well over what the face value or the melt value is. So yeah, if you can still go to the bank and buy a box of pennies, just do it. Just go buy a box and put it in your closet and don't think about it. Yep, same in Canada. I think ours is 81 though, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I mean like it's technically illegal, but I mean when a washer, if you need a copper washer and it costs you 7 or 8 cents per copper washer, why not just use a penny and drill a hole in it or punch a hole in it or whatever you got to do, right? So yeah, in the future you're not gonna have that option because they're just not gonna be there. So if you guys can still grab, why is that looking so lumpy? Did I miss some? Here, let me redo that. Not sure why that's not wrapping like it should be. But yeah, if you guys can still buy, like go and get like, I think they're $50 boxes or whatever, but you can go to the bank, at least here, you can get rolls in a box. If you guys can still do that down there before they pull the pennies, I would highly suggest you do that. Because they get hard to find in a hurry. And they're useful for more than just the copper weight. And if you can get an old box, yeah, no, I know. It's the same in Canada. We have the whole. Yeah, same with us. Like our old. I do quite a bit of coin collecting too. I should know all this. I want to say 76 for Canada for quarters and nickels. Or is it 76 or 78? Somewhere right in there anyway. That's rather cool. Yeah, we didn't switch to zinc until 83. I think the same time you guys did. Give or take anyway. Alright, let's get another hackle going here. Such a beautiful cape. I love this thing. It's like honey colored. It's just gorgeous. It's got such a shine to it. Yeah, which is weird, eh? You figure it'd be the other way around. But I guess steel and zinc and everything else were more important than silver at the time. Hey, who doesn't? Okay, so this guy's good. Yeah, and then they had all the nice Victory minted stuff afterwards too, and the Centennial stuff. Like in Canada, we have all the animals, the fish and the rabbit and the all that, and the Victory coins. A couple of years ago, I cashed in a bunch of whole whack of silver dollars that I had, and I don't know. I guess it would have been good to keep them and get a better value for them now, but Don't want to get your woman upset at you then. That's cool. Not worth anything, really? I'd expect it would be worth some, but they probably mass produce them and I have one or a couple coins from when Canada had colonies, mostly from like Nova Scotia and stuff, before we had provinces. And each province, or whatever, what would become a province, kind of had their own currencies before we became Canada. But yeah, no kidding. Especially just given the age, right? There's only so many of them around. That's cool. Like anything over 1900 is cool. Like living here, I mean, if you're in Europe, that's a different story. One of my other many hobbies is metal detecting. Actually, I have my metal detector beside me. And the ground's kind of frozen now, so that's out the window until springtime. But I love finding old coins and just old historic stuff. Yeah, I might be able to get one more wrap in there. Let's see. Don't get caught on the hook. That was a cool thing about old money too, is like they made them out of, well, I guess for lack of a better word, like actual metal, you know? Oh, good. I am West Coast. I'm smack in the middle of British Columbia, which is West Coast. I am having trouble getting this wire to creep up on me. I don't want to wreck my tail. Come on now. Just doesn't want to bite into the chenille. Keeps wanting to slide down by where the tail is in the hook. Yeah, I'll try. I'm trying to walk it up here. I don't normally have this problem. Yeah, the ones in Newfoundland, Nova Scotia, and there's probably gobs that they haven't found yet there too. There we go. Now we're back out. It was a lot harder than it needed to be. Bodkin to the rescue. Yeah, the East Coast, I mean, the people are super friendly down there. And it's just, it's its own place. Oh yeah, things are way... That's one thing you learn quick in Canada. Everything's farther away than it looks like on a map. Mostly because the map's designed for people that live down where you guys are. in the middle band in the States, right? And since it's a globe and not a flat piece of land, well, depending on who you talk to, it gets distorted the farther you go north. So yeah, everything on our maps are off. But you get used to it. Just gonna get some hackle pliers here. My brain is telling me it's a good idea. Yeah, I'm in an interior BC, so if you had a map of BC, I'm kind of just like, you threw a dart at it, and I'm like kind of right in the middle. Yep. And like the other thing too in BC is we have like huge distances between cities too, right? Like they literally have signs warning you like you must fill up with gas or you won't make you're not gonna make it to the next gas station. Because yeah, some cities will have like 3 to 6 or 500 kilometers between from city to city with nothing else in between, like nothing, just bush. Which is also cool. I'm glad I grew up with that. I think we're not going to throw in a beard on this one either, because I'm just happy with the way the head looks. But I'm between the North Thompson and the Thompson and the Shuswap. Smack in the middle. I literally live in a fishing paradise. I live right next to a fishing resort, a ski hill, a provincial park, and native band land. So I got like everything right around me. We have probably 2,000, maybe 2,500 fishing lakes within 3-hour drive. I could literally go to a new lake every day for the rest of my life and not fish them all. Doesn't mean they're all going to be good, mind you. Yeah, I mean, I guess there's two sides to that coin, right? Because you got the animal provides education and awareness. And I mean, if they're there, it clearly is surviving, so. Cool. I would say anyone I've met from the Kentucky area has always been good people. I did a lot of internet fixing back in my internet fixing days there. Alright, let's trim her up, make her pretty, sorta. Yeah, all the people were very polite, lots of yes ma'am, yes sir. You know, just down to earth good people. There we go, and quiet there, guys. I'm just trying to concentrate, not cut my tail off or something. It's one of those things where you're like trimming away, and all of a sudden, like, oh, I drove through Ohio. You're right. There's like not a whole lot there. And I heard that too, that it was like pretty much nothing going on. And yet they're right. There's really not a lot going on. The pew pew range. Yeah, we're almost done this one. I'm leaving it a little more shaggy. I don't know. I kind of like the shaggy. I know it's not the right up traditional. You know it's a small town range when you know the guy with the flamethrower, right? Oh, hey, I think I got it. What do you guys think? Would you pay $5 for a haircut like that? Start trimming dogs or something. Thank you. Yeah, this is an older. I still fish this pattern, but it's a really old pattern. Some of the more modern stuff, arguably, fishes better. Really? Yeah, we don't get that kind of thing in Canada. Yeah, I think we use mostly blanks and that kind of thing. They have blue rounds when they shoot them off. Oop, might have got a hair or much on there, but ooh, it's dripping. Go, 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 go. Ugh. All right, this one's gonna require some spinning. Yeah, maybe a hair. I'll wait for that to settle in. I look carried away with the nail polish. Oops. Sometimes it's the one couple times where I wish I actually had like the UV resin. I can't use it though. I've tried different brands. I'm horribly allergic to it. Barretts are cool. Yeah, America. Yeah, I think the UV resin they use for dentistry is a different makeup. Because yeah, I've had the UV resin, and I think it's more of like getting it on my skin, and I've mentioned that a few times here, and a lot of, my viewers are like, well, just don't get it on your skin. It's like, have you ever tried to use like anti-seize? It just gets everywhere. I always touch the flies, I touch everything. Yeah, I even tried SolarRes makes a bone dry variant that has a different chemical makeup to that's supposed to be more hyperallergenic, because apparently this isn't like an uncommon thing for people to have an allergy to. So, and it sucks because I would love to play. I would love to play with the UV resins because you can do some really cool stuff with it. Nothing I really couldn't do with, you know, regular 5-minute epoxy, but 1938, really? So I wonder if that was like a wartime thing where they came up with it. Yeah, the other thing that they use it for, like you said, is in printing. I used to use it because I worked in a print shop. I was a print master for years, and we would use it for our printing negatives for the film, for the print, for the offset printers. And the same thing, I'd have to wear gloves and everything. I'd break out, and it sucks. I don't want to be allergic to it, but I break out in like nasty hive rashes, and but it just is what it is. Alright, I'm gonna call it after this fly, guys, for a while. Anyway, I might jump back on later, but I'm getting hungry. I want some breakfast, and you can probably hear my dog and my cat. Here, come here, kitty. Why don't you say hi to... Why don't you say hi to everyone again? Come here. There. There's Luna. Meow. Yep, she wants for food. She's bugging me, and she won't leave my feet alone, so I'm gonna take a break, feed the animals. And my dog's here too, but I'm not lifting him up. He's a goofball. You're a goofball. Alright, down you go. Yep, there's my kitty. That's Luna Tuna. Here, I'll see if Doggo will jump up enough to get in camera. You want to come say hi? Come here. Come here, Doggo. Up, up. Up, up. Come on. Come on, Doggo. Up, up. Come on. Come on. Up, up. Come on. Here, I'll show you in a second if he'll stop being a toot. Come here. Come on. Up, up. Come on. Okay, no, don't eat the microphone. Come here. Just say hi to everyone. What's wrong with you? Come here. Up, up. Come on. Up, up. Come here. There's his head. He's a mix. He's part cattle dog. Okay, down you go. His dad was literally named Farmer, and we got him on a farm, so he's not a purebred. Yeah, he's a good dog. I'm really happy with him. He knocked my camera around on me, though. There we go. Yeah, I know, she's a suck. Yeah, he's got a really nice coat on him. I can't use any of his fur for fly tying, though, because he doesn't have, like, an undercoat. He's almost got, like, a coat like a Dalmatian. I had a Dalmatian before. It's very similar, that spiky hair. But yeah, I'm going to take off. Both the animals want food, and I'm hungry, too. I want food. So I'm going to take off, grab some food, and then I'll come back later tonight, more than likely. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. And yeah, Stardusted, your fly box is coming. You hit my mic, sorry, guys. There, that's probably better. Stardusted, your fly box is coming in the mail. I'll probably get it either today or tomorrow. And yeah, no, thanks for hanging out, guys. It was a good tie. I really enjoyed myself. And thanks for the company, guys. It's always appreciated. You guys have a good one. Oh, K-Fish dropped in. Sorry, K-Fish. I'm just taking off. I'm going to grab some breakfast. Oh, show flies came in too. All right, sorry. Bye. Thanks for the email. Yeah, I'll get it out to you today. You can just punch it back and I'll send it to you.